Hey everybody, welcome to Octacage MMA, my very first video. I hope you like it. So let's just jump straight into it. Tomorrow, July 29th, is UFC 291, one of the biggest cards of the year. It's taking place in Salt Lake City, and I can't be more excited. What a card. It's completely stacked. And I'm going to start off with the early prelims. Just going to talk about one fight from there. It's going to be Uros Medic, the Doctor, versus Matthew Semelsberger, called the Semi Jedi. So yeah, Uros Medic is obviously my boy. He's my countryman, my fellow countryman. So I'm going to be rooting for him. And yeah, a very very exciting fight. He's a very skilled striker, a high volume striker. So I expect him to win this fight for sure. He won his last fight. The fight before he did lose, but however he lost to Jalen Turner. Jalen Turner is a very big lightweight who just fought versus Dan Hooker, and yeah, he won in a very close fight. It was a close fight. I mean, Dan Hooker beat him with a broken arm. That's all I have to say. That's how tough and good Jalen Turner is. So he's fighting Matthews. Semelsberger, I don't know much about him. I watched some highlights. He seems like a really big guy. He has some brutal knockouts, but he has quite a few losses. So we'll see what happens. But that's the fight in the early prelims that I'm looking forward to. Next fight I'm going to talk about is from the prelims. One fight from the prelims that will be Derek Lewis versus Marcos Rogerio de Lima. So wow, yeah, Derek Lewis is in the prelims. Crazy, right? But that's where we are. Derek lost his last three fights. In all honesty, it was very tough competition. He lost to this Russian tank, Sergey Pavlovich. Some say it was an early stoppage, but I honestly don't see how it would have went differently. I'm kind of glad the referee stopped, didn't cause more damage to Derek. So yeah, I mean Sergey Pavlovich, he's a big contender now for the title at heavyweight. Possibly the man that will stop John Jones, but we'll talk about that in another video. Then he lost to Spivak, also another guy from the Eastern Bloc, very good wrestler, very good ground game. And then the fight that he could have won, but he lost, it was Tai Tuivasa. So yeah, he's obviously not in a good form. You could say that, I guess. He's fighting versus Rogerio de Lima, and we'll see. So this is the first time now on the scale. This is latest news on the scale. He showed abs, right? That's impressive. The man lost only 5 pounds at 260. He's showing abs. We'll see how he shows up. But yeah, very, very good fight up there. So next one we're going to the main event now. Fight after fight, no pee breaks. It's going to be amazing. So first fight there will be Chiesa versus Holland. Michael Chiesa versus Kevin Holland. They both made weight. That's the good news. So I think just based on activity, Kevin Holland will take this. He had far many fights in the last couple of years. Chiesa has not fought in almost 2 years. So just for that mere fact, then I think Chiesa said, I got one in me. Is this the one? Probably he will retire after this one, especially if he loses. So that would be my guess. Kevin Holland will take this. He will stop the takedowns. That will be my prediction. Of course, Michael Chiesa is going to try to go for a takedown, try to submit him. I think he will stop the takedowns and he will just pick him apart from the distance. All right, next fight will be Tony Ferguson versus Bobby Green. Wow. So Tony Ferguson is back again after that loss versus Nate Diaz at 170. He wasn't even supposed to fight Nate, so that whole card was a mess with Chimaev and the whole fight before the conference happened. But anyhow, yeah, Tony has 5 losses in a row. So I mean, it's either he wins or he retires. That's my prediction. I think honestly, I'm gonna be rooting for Tony. I'm gonna be honest. Tony's my guy. I like Tony, just like a lot of people. But Bobby Green is in far better shape. He only lost to Islam and Drew Dober. Much better competitors. And yeah, just for that fact alone, I think Bobby is a couple of years younger, better shape. Tony, yeah, I think this is Tony's last fight. But we'll see. You never know what happens with Tony. Maybe he will surprise us all, and as he says, he will go on a 5-win streak wins and then goes for the title. But yeah, you never know. All right, next fight will be Wonder Boy. or actually, maybe. I don't know if this fight is happening. I still haven't seen the latest news. Is it confirmed or not? Because Michel Pereira, he missed weight. So, yes, the matchup is Stephen Wonderboy Thompson versus Michel Pereira. And yeah, he missed weight. Michel missed weight by 3 pounds. So he weighed 174 pounds. So we'll see. I think there will come to a negotiation. They had a really good handshake on the press conference, so they will come to some kind of negotiation where obviously Pereira's purse will be hit. It will be 20-30% cut for sure. But I think the fight will happen. So I won't say much. But my prediction is if this didn't happen, is this an advantage for Pereira? Definitely. But still, if it's a medical problem that he has, that changes the whole game. So we don't know much yet. But my prediction, I will stick to my original prediction, which is Stephen Wonderboy Thompson picking him apart from a distance, winning this fight. So we'll see. Anyways, next fight is the co-main event of the evening. That will be Jan Blachowicz versus Alex Pereira. His introduction to the light heavyweight division. Wow, what a fight. So these two guys have one thing in common. They both beat Izzy Adesanya. Probably the only two guys, as far as I know, that beat Izzy. Fantastic. I mean, that's an unbelievable statistic. And there's one interesting thing that Izzy said a couple of days ago on his channel. So he admits that Alex hits harder than Jan. Believe it or not. So yeah, wow. He hits harder than Jan. That's what Izzy said. And he knows it. If anybody knows, that's Izzy. So this fight, obviously, Jan's game plan would probably be to take down Alex. Working with Glover, Alex, I think, definitely improved a lot. And he showed, even in those two fights with Izzy Adesanya, they ended up both in knockouts. First he knocked him out, then he got knocked out. But I think he showed massive improvements on his ground game. So I think he will be able to stop down the takedowns from Jan, and he should be able to KO or TKO Jan. Jan Blachowicz's last couple of fights were pretty weird. Okay, ever since he lost the title, everybody expected him to beat 42-year-old Glover Teixeira, but he lost. He lost. He said the legendary Polish power did not show up that night, and ever since it's been pretty weird. He fought Alexander Rakic. He took the win, but Alexander Rakic, he tore his ACL. So it was not your typical win. And then the controversial match versus Magomed Ankalaev, which Dana White didn't like. It was just a weird match where it was a draw, official draw. I thought Ankalaev won that. Is Ankalaev coming back? That's something we will see. Maybe he will make a comeback. Maybe he will be the fight for the title after this matchup. We'll see what happens. But yeah, all in all, his form was pretty shaky. And now he's 40 years old this year. So I think Alex definitely takes this. But we will see. Final fight, main event. Fight for the BMF title. The baddest MF in the world. So yeah, after Jorge, we were anticipating this to happen. And I think all the fans cannot disagree. One of these two guys should be crowned the BMF. And we will see tomorrow night who will take it. So it's Justin Gaethje versus Dustin Poirier. Both guys won the last couple of fights. They're in great shape. They have a lot of things in common. Starting off with they both beat Michael Chandler. They both lost to Khabib Nurmagomedov. They both lost to Charles Oliveira as well. So they always got to that one last final step to the title, but they never won. They never became the undisputed champions of the world. So they got a lot in common. They're very good strikers, powerful, and just overall very entertaining fighters. So, I mean, everybody's looking forward to this fight. We hope it's going to take 25 minutes. Obviously, 5 years ago, it's been a long time. Dustin took the win versus Justin the first time. But yeah, it's been a while. They both got much, much better. My prediction is that Justin got a little better, especially given at his record. His last fight earlier this year was versus Rafael Fiziev, the dark horse of the division. Everybody saw him as like, okay, this guy might surprise everybody and maybe even fight Islam Makhachev for the title. No, Dustin stopped him. Wasn't a knockout, but it took 5 rounds into the decision, and I think he beat the socks out of this guy. It was an amazing performance. So yeah, I'm going to go with Justin. Justin will be the new BMF. That's my official prediction. Thank you for watching, and let me know in your comments. Let me know what you think. Please like and subscribe. Let's grow this community, and I'll see you in the next video.